What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth, and I am back with you today to show you guys another section of my horror movie collection. Let's do it. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe as usual. Alright, so for this section this week, there's a whole lot of stuff in here that I have not seen. There's a few in here that I have seen, and there's also a few in here that I haven't seen in a long time. Alright, so kicking things off, we have Jeepers Creepers 3. I love Jeepers Creepers. I very much like Jeepers Creepers 2. This one I was not real crazy about. I only watched it once. It really didn't do anything for me, to be honest with you. On the last day of the Creepers' 23-day feeding frenzy, skeptical Sergeant Tubbs teams up with a task force hell-bound on destroying the Creeper for good. The Creeper fights back in gory glory as its enemies grow closer than ever before learning the secret of its dark origins. Yeah, I don't remember this movie very well, and I know that that's primarily because I didn't like it. Pardon me. The Creeper looks great. And that's the broad that's been in, I think, some Rob Zombie stuff. Alright, moving on. Next up, we have Andy Garcia and Uma Thurman in Jennifer 8. This is one of those movies that I know I watched it, but it's been a very, very long time since I watched it. Look at how young Uma Thurman is. What year is this movie? 1992, so that's 21 plus 8, 29. Going on 29 years old. I don't know exactly what the release date was, but yeah, 30-year-old movie. And a whole lot of writing on the back that I don't feel like reading. So if you want to pause it and try and read it, you go right ahead. I am not reading all of that. Alright, next up is Jennifer's Body with the smoking hot Megan Fox in it. I was actually really looking forward to this movie, and I don't remember this being all that great either, to be honest with you. Sexy temptress Megan Fox is hotter than hell as Jennifer, a gorgeous, seductive cheerleader who takes evil to a whole new level after she's possessed by a sinister demon. Steamy action and gore galore ensues as the male student body succumbs to Jennifer's insatiable appetite for human flesh. Now it's up to her best friend Amanda to stop Jennifer's reign of terror before it's too late. I don't know, man. I remember this movie being a letdown for me. I was very much looking forward to seeing this movie. Maybe I was just looking forward to seeing Megan Fox, and who knows. But I know that I don't remember really caring for this movie very much at all. I think that this movie is just, I don't know. I thought it was kind of silly. Next up, I bought this as a blind buy at Best Buy, and I still have not watched it. Jezebel? Never saw it. Nice slipcover. Let's see. From the mastermind, producers of Paranormal Activity and can't speak today. And Insidious comes the ghostly tale of Jezebel, returning to her childhood home in Louisiana to recuperate from a horrific car accident. There's a lot of people in horror movies that just have bad car accidents. Jezebel comes face to face with a long-tormented spirit that has been seeking her return and has no intention of letting her escape. Alright, so to tell me this. If this girl was haunted by something in this house, and then she gets busted up in a car accident, why the hell would she go back to that house? Ain't she got enough problems? Alright, people need to learn. Next up is Steven Zahn, Paul Walker, and Lily Sobieski in Joyride. I love Steve Zahn, and rest in peace, Paul Walker. I barely remember this movie. I do remember that I liked it, though. I definitely saw it, I think more than once, but it's been a long time since I've seen this. A first-rate pure thriller. Paul Walker takes a wild ride Paul Walker takes a wilder ride here than he did in the Fast and Furious. It's ridiculous. Stalked by a vengeful trucker, three friends race for their lives. It's a thrilling nail-biter with 4 mind-blowing alternate endings. I just remember something taking place in like a hotel in this movie. That's what I remember, as ridiculous as that is. It's been a long time since I've watched that. And I have never watched Joyride 2. And I have never watched Joyride 3. So I'm not even going to bother reading those. One of these days I'll get to those. I remember enjoying Joyride, but I don't really remember too many details about it. It's been a long time. All right, next up is something I recently picked up at the Dollar Tree, The Jungle. I was definitely attracted to this by the green case, as silly as that may seem. And he looks awesome. Check him out. He looks angry and hungry. All right, an exploration deep into the Indonesian rainforest to find and tag the elusive Javan leopard leads conservationist Larry Black and his team on a path of terror. When their expedition uncovers evidence of a horrifying new species, they realize the legendary forest demon, feared by the natives, is more than just a myth. All right, so apparently that's a forest demon. It's a pretty damn good name for it. This actually seems pretty cool. That looks awesome. How it comes across on screen is yet to be determined by me, but he looks amazing. Yeah, I gotta watch that. I'm doing something. I'm trying to start getting through these Dollar Tree movies. Next up is Ju-On, which is the original version of where we got the Grudge. I watched this movie last year and did not like it at all. I think I watched this thing a long time ago, and then last year I revisited this, and I just didn't like it. I thought this was boring. I typically like J-horror films. I did not like this one. I thought Ju-On was... I thought this was just simply not a good movie. And on the back it says, a supreme example of Japanese horror creepiness. The most frightening film of the year. It's definitely Japanese horror creepiness. That little boy right there, and then that other thing that sounds like that. Absolutely creepy. That movie's boring. Next up, Jurassic Predator. I think this is another one that I got at Dollar Tree. They said it was extinct. They were wrong. That is way too much writing, and I ain't reading it. So there's that if you want to read that. I have not seen this. It's back with a vengeance. I wonder what it is. Well, it's that thing. Looks like a alligator skeleton, but bigger. All right, next up, Brad Pitt, Juliette Lewis, David Duchovny, and Michelle Forbes. Who the hell's that? I know who the other three are. Lord, sorry. Now I'm smacking the camera around. Gotta calm down. California. This is another one. I have seen this, but it's been a gazillion years since I've seen this. 2 thumbs up, terrifying horror, and unflinchingly honest. I'm not going to try and... Well, you know what? The hell with it. I am going to read it. My apologies up front. Excitement, adventure, and unimaginable terror await on the road to California. Brad Pitt is outstanding, and Juliette Lewis is utterly heartbreakingly convincing in this chilling psychological thriller co-starring David Duchovny and Michelle Forbes. I still don't know who Michelle Forbes... Well, obviously, I still don't know who Michelle Forbes is. When urban intellectuals Brian and Carrie set out on a cross-country trip to research a book about serial killers, they share the ride with a couple they barely know. Early Grace, which is Brad Pitt, and his girlfriend Adele, which is Juliette Lewis, locked in a car hurtling... I don't like that word. Locked in a car hurtling westward. The 4 travelers struggle to find some common ground, but when they finally do connect, Early's violent nature abruptly emerges, and the terrified Brian and Carrie realize that they don't need to go very far to learn about ruthless killers because they are already face to face with one. Not very often do I come across a word that I just don't like, and that would be hurtling. I bet you don't hear that too often either. I do remember who this Forbes chick is. She's the girl who actually is in the car with David Duchovny. I think she's a dark short-haired girl, but whatever. Just been a long time since I've seen that. This is something I also very recently picked up. This is the Boris Karloff collection. Picked it up up at FYE, very cheap. 5 movies. The Night Key from 1937, Tower of London from 1939. The Climax from 1944, The Strange Door from 1951, and The Black Castle from 1952. So I thought this was really cool. I think I got it for like $7.50. It's in an FYE haul video. I think it's 2 haul videos ago. So if you, for whatever reason, feel like finding out how much I paid for that, it's in that video. All right, next up, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This movie's fantastic. Ridiculousness. Love this movie. Not reading all that. I have to assume that all of you have seen the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's pretty neat. They can come to life out of like cotton candy. It's pretty awesome. Kind of ridiculous. It's one of my son's favorite horror movies. Next up is Killer Movie. This is actually really good. I included this on something that I saw. No, you know what? No, this is not what I thought it was. Is this a sequel? In the world of reality TV, producer Seton Brookstone, it's a stupid made-up name, is used to handling spoiled celebrities, testy crews, and unexpected setbacks. But no one is prepared when the shooting crew finds it's stranded in the remote northern town of White Plains with a killer on the loose. As past suspicions, betrayals, and secrets are revealed in... Learn how to read. Are revealed in the nightmare of shooting this reality show becomes all too real for the director Jake Tanner, portrayed by Paul Wesley. Silly. His crew and his star Hollywood celebrities, whatever. Is this a sequel to Killer Movie? How ridiculous is it that I didn't even know I owned this? That's awful. Killer Movie Fear Reality. I know I own Killer Movie like twice. Now, you know what? Midnight Movie is what I have in my mind. Yeah. Don't get old, folks. All right, next up. The Killers Within. Picked this up at Dollar Tree. Haven't watched this yet. It's Killer Be Killed. Getting my movies confused. Yeah, Midnight Movie. I watched Midnight Movie recently, not Killer Movie. Pardon me, who cares? That kid's nasty. He's got like snake eyes or lizard eyes, and he's been chewing on people. Is he a vampire? Killers Within, whatever. With her son being held captive by a criminal gang, police officer Amanda Doyle, together with her ex-husband and 3 unlikely allies, take part in a desperate plot to hold a wealthy banker and his family to ransom. But this is no ordinary family. As the story unfolds, it becomes clear that the hunters have become the hunted. It's a fight for survival, and it is kill or be killed. All right, so it sounds like some people take a family hostage, and that family turns out to be, is it vampires? Or is it just snake people who bite some bitches? Whatever. That actually sounds pretty good. That's definitely a snake. Yeah, check snake face. Literally half snake. Silly. All right, next up is something called The Killing House. This is actually The Killing House, Headhunter, and Curtains all in this one set. Got this at Dollar Tree for $1, 3 movies for $1. All right, and I am definitely not reading all 3 of these, but I will read The Killing House. By a weird twist of fate, 3 near strangers end up imprisoned in a mansion and thrown into a game that none of them wanted to play. They must keep killing each other until the winner has amassed enough kills to leave the grounds of the house. That sounds kind of ridiculous. All right, next up. I don't know how many of you have ever seen The Killing of a Sacred Deer. This movie's out there. I loved every second of this movie. A beautifully crafted film. Nicole Kidman has never been better. Colin Farrell is phenomenal. That's very true. Colin Farrell's very different in this movie than anything I've ever seen him in. Nicole Kidman is Nicole Kidman, and she does what she does, and she's great at it. This movie is weird. That kid right there, I don't know what his name is very crazy in this movie. And Colin Farrell is a doctor, and Nicole Kidman is Colin Farrell's wife. I don't even know how to describe this movie. Let's see. Dr. Stephen Murphy is a renowned cardiovascular surgeon presiding over a spotless household with his, I don't even know what the hell that word is. Nicole Kidman. And their 2 exemplary children, 12-year-old Bob and 14-year-old Kim. Lurking in the margins of Steve's suburban existence is Marty. Barry Cogan is that kid's name that I'm talking about. A fatherless teen he has covertly taken under his wing as Martin begins insinuating himself. I don't think that doesn't seem like that's right. As Martin begins insinuating himself into the family's life in even more unsettling displays, the full scope of his intent becomes menacingly clear when he confronts Stephen with a long-forgotten transgression that will shatter the Murphy family domestic bliss. This movie is really, really strange. It's one of those things that you feel like you're watching a car crash very slowly and you can't look away. Like I said, I don't even know how to describe this movie, but I loved it, if that makes sense. Really, really cool. Very, very different. See if you can find that thing streaming somewhere. My wife got me this for Christmas a couple years ago. I saw the trailer for it, and I thought it looked really good. She picked it up, and I watched it on Blu-ray, but I'm pretty positive I've seen it somewhere out there streaming. Very strange. Colin Farrell's awesome in that movie. Finally, the last one for this week is Kill List. Got this at Dollar Tree. Ben from Cadaver Club told me I needed to watch this movie. I have not watched it yet. One of the most violent and disturbing films you'll see. Kill List. Let's see. Will leave your bones rattling. I don't like statements like that. It's silly. Nothing leaves your bones rattling. Unless you're in a... Never mind. Nearly a year after a botched job, a hitman takes on a new assignment with the promise of a big payoff for 3 killings. What starts off as an easy task soon unravels, sending the killer into the heart of darkness, where the only way out is to give in. I know this movie's British, and I know that Ben from Cadaver Club liked it, and outside of that, I don't know nothing about this movie. Haven't even seen a trailer for it. I don't recognize either one of them dudes. Whatever. But if Ben says it's a good movie, I have to assume that it's a good movie. I find that he and I have very similar tastes in movies, all but the whole Godzilla thing. And I can't say that I don't like Godzilla. I just am not as familiar with Godzilla as Mr. Ben is. All right, that's going to do it for the movies this week. There's a whole bunch of stuff there that I have not seen or haven't seen in a long time, like I said. But there's definitely a few gems in there. I'd say The Killing of a Sacred Deer. If you haven't seen that, check that out. And what else is there? I don't know. Killer Clowns, classic. Everybody knows that. And Killer Movie. Don't confuse Killer Movie with Midnight Movie. It's definitely not the same thing. I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. Later, folks.